Hey, YouTube, long time no see. I know it's been a while since I've done a review. I'm done with Disney Plus. It came from Disney Plus because I couldn't do it. I was just very stressed out this year. I had a lot of family issues, a lot of issues on social media. I've had a lot of, weight problems, a lot of, like just headaches and just, we're losing an hour tonight, by the way. Daylight savings time starts at 2 a.m. So you have to push your clocks forward to 3 a.m. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Today, I'm going to do a rant. Yes, I know you guys loved my Prince of Persia rant, so let's do another one. I got some tension to get out of my body. We have a 2020 movie that came out last year. Yeah, this was like one of the last films to come out before COVID hit. A 2020 superhero film. No, it's not New Mutants, because that was after the COVID already hit. Based on Valiant Comics character of the same name. Yes, it's the 2020 flop, because yes, it flopped. Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. What pisses me off the most about this movie is it's not the worst superhero movie ever made. Trust me, I saw Venom. I saw Superman 4. I saw Batman and Robin. I've seen Catwoman. I saw part of Elektra. Yeah, this isn't the worst. It's just a wasted opportunity. Yeah, this movie was directed by David S.F. Wilson in his directorial debut. I'm not going to blame him because he tried the best he could with everything that he shot. What I am going to blame is these writers, Jeff Wildlow and Eric Heiserer. Yeah. The guy that did the Elm Street remake. Yeah, to write your freaking superhero movie that's PG-13. That's another reason, but I'll get to that. And this god-awful cast, well, some of them are. Diesel's not the problem. It's just they cast him 20 years too late. If he had done this movie in the early 2000s, it would have been fine. But they had to put him in everything. After Fast and the Furious, he did Riddick and Triple X and Guardians of the Galaxy years later. And, it's just he's a bankable star, but not everything he touches is gold. This is a prime example. Even some of his other franchises have suffered. They did a Triple X movie without him. Then they did one with him, and it sucked. Then he did a third Riddick movie, which is just a bare bones remake of the first one. Then he did some of the Fast and the Furious movies have not been good since Paul's passing. But again, I'm not going to blame him for that. Then you have Isa Gonzalez, a very beautiful Mexican version of, I think, Gal Gadot if she was Mexican and not Jewish. Gorgeous girl. Sam Hugan, I don't even know who that is. Sam Hugan? Wagon? He's a Scottish actor. He was in Outlander. Kind of like kind of like Game of Thrones, a period piece. And of course, you have two of the worst freaking British actors that I can't freaking stand. No, it's not the hobo. She's not in this movie. She was too busy ruining Chaos Walking, and that flopped too. So I'm very happy about that. Toby Kebbell and Guy Pearce, yes, the asshole that played that was in Fan Snorstick and the guy that was in Iron Man 3, playing nothing roles here. And let's listen to the story. It follows a Marine who was killed in action only to be brought back to life with superpowers by an organization that wants to use him as a weapon. Yeah, I already saw that in Universal Soldier. Yeah, I saw that in Universal Soldier not too long ago. That movie came out in the 90s. It's a better freaking movie, and it's R-rated. You cannot do a movie called Bloodshot and make it PG-13 for kiddies. It doesn't work, guys. This movie cost $45 million. It's not even that big of a budget. The Venom cost more than this, and Van Snorstick and a bunch of other films. This movie bombed $37 million worldwide. Yet it's getting a sequel because on VOD, this was one of those like cult movies that people are going to be like, this is awesome. I'm like, it could have been good. That's the problem. It's wasted potential. It was released theatrically March 13th, 2020, a week before COVID hit in the US. By Sony. Yeah, fuck Sony. I'm sick and tired of them. The film grossed $37 million worldwide and received mixed reviews. Mixed reviews? This movie's awful. It doesn't look awful. Like, the shots and everything and the cinematography works pretty well and it's shot competently, but it's just awful. They cut every time somebody gets killed in this movie. They do a cutaway. There's no blood. They just bah. There's no blood. They show no splatter. They show an explosion and they do it off screen. It's pathetic. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic closing theaters across the globe, Sony made the film available digitally on demand less than 2 weeks, and after its release, a sequel's in development. The sequel better be R-rated. What really hurts this movie, besides that it's written horribly, is that it's PG-13. Every time Bloodshot does something like he gets shot in the face and he breaks off, and that's a cool effect, but it was done better in Terminator 2. Here, it's like there's barely any blood, and when there is blood, it's not as intense as a Marvel movie or even a DC movie. It's just bloodless, and the constant flashbacks of him when he was with this girl that I don't give a shit about, and before he dies at war, and a lot of the violence is just toned down, and I'm like, it's not working for me. Lamorne Morris, he does the most over the top freaking British accent, and I know he's not British. He was the black guy in Game Night. He sounds like freaking he's trying to be Don Cheadle from freaking the Ocean's movies. This very thick Cockney accent. Over the Orthodox, not Orthodox, and Orthodox. He sounds like a cartoon character, and it doesn't fit. His comedic relief doesn't work here. Granted, he's not a black stereotype, but he's a cartoon character. And the fact that he tries to help Vin Diesel, it doesn't work. He plays Ray Garrison, Vin Diesel, Bloodshot. And the origin is dumb. It's like I've seen it done better. And like a guy that has superhuman abilities and his skin can heal. Again, I saw that in Logan or in AKA the X-Men or Deadpool, where he can regenerate and he can heal himself. Again, I've seen it before and done better. And the fact that this movie, yeah, it could have been good. See, the Rotten Tomatoes give it a 30%. Bloodshot gives Vin Diesel a solid opportunity to indulge in old school action that should satisfy fans if you read the comics. I didn't. Even if the end result is disappointingly mediocre. Exactly. It's not the worst thing ever. It's just lame. You could have made this R-rated. Dread was better than this, and it also had that same effect with the cheek getting blown off. There was blood. There was violence. There was freaking grit to it. And you had Dread being a badass. You didn't have to tone him down and make it for kiddies. That also flopped, yet is not getting a sequel, but this shit is. Why? Because it's bad. Bloodshot is a trash compactor of comic book film, but it's a smart trash and action matrix that's fun to plug into. Yeah, some of the action is well done, but some of it I've seen it done better in other movies like The Terminator and RoboCop, the originals, not these retreads they've done, and Universal Soldier and Deadpool and Dread and Logan. It's been done better. And with an R rating, not everything needs to be for kiddie boppers. No kids went to go see this once COVID hit. The visual effects got a outstanding created environment and a photo real feature. Again, the visuals are not the problem. Some of the CGI looks very weak. Like the scene where this guy is climbing up a building like a spider, it looks ridiculous. It looked better in Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 back in the 2000s. And also, Eisen Gonzalez has nothing to do in this movie. She just shows off her body swimming, and she kicks a little bit of ass in like the second half of the film. But that's not enough. You have to give her a character, not just she's a piece of ass. You have to give her a character. Her name is KT. KT what? KTTSO? I don't know. And Toby Kebbell's a cartoon here too. I can't stand this guy. Every time he's on camera, he's like dancing and be like, yeah, fuck you, Toby Kebbell. You're not funny. You're a cartoon character. Every movie, he's a jackass. He's either a cartoon character, or he's loud, or he's just being British. And yeah, I told you guys, I'm not a fan. I'm going to leave it at that. Guy Pearce, granted, he's not as annoying here as in Iron Man 3, but again, he's playing another scientist. He's basically playing the role that Gary Oldman played in the RoboCop remake, that he's controlling Vin Diesel's character, so that he can't just get away with murdering people. He's under control. Again, I've seen it done already, and that movie sucked too. Worse than this, because at least that movie was an unnecessary retread of something done better. Here, this is just a mediocre film that had good ideas. I like those things that go into his skin that heals him. That's an interesting idea, but it was done better in Deadpool. When he cuts his hand off and he gives a finger to Colossus and it grows back. Again, done better. And the film is it's too long. An hour and 49 minutes. It felt like 2 hours. There's a lot of scenes you could have cut out. The British chick, you could have cut her out. She serves no purpose. Because they try to kill her off, and no, it's there's no payoff. Later on in the film, Vin Diesel sees her, and she's already married with someone else. Yeah, that was completely freaking pointless. Eric Heiserer, the only movie that he wrote that was any good was let me see his filmography. Arrival. He was one of the writers in that. That movie was good and atmospheric, and it's a Denis Villeneuve movie. He knows how to make a good freaking movie. He doesn't write bullshit like this. He takes an idea and runs with it. Jeff Wadlow, this guy did Cry Wolf, which I was not a fan of, Kick-Ass 2, which I didn't see. Nonstop, he produced that movie. He did Truth or Dare and Fantasy Island from last year, another bullshit 2020 movie. And he's going to be writing the Masters of the Universe movie. You better not put bullshit like this. You better not tone it down for children. I know the cartoon was meant for kids, but this comic was not meant for kids. It's called Bloodshot. It's like if they did a Deadshot movie and it was PG. No, you got to try a little harder. Tallulah Riley, who's that? That's the British chick. Yeah, she looks like a British Dove Cameron. She can't act either, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Alex Hernandez, yeah, he's barely in it. It's just this movie's uneventful. I was so bored throughout most of it. I was like, can something please happen already? Can you take this idea and run with it? Hell, Lab Rats did it better on the Disney Channel, on Disney XD, where you have these bionic children that can have these special abilities, not healing, but they have special abilities that they can use and chips in their brain that can make them do things. Again, that's an interesting idea, but here it's wasted. How can you waste a good idea like this? How? This was one of the most disappointing movies of 2020. And I didn't even see it in theaters. I saw it on cable like a few weeks ago. It's awful. I really thought this movie was going to be at least a guilty pleasure. It's not. It's not. I'd rather see Blade Trinity than this. At least that was R. This is a PG-13 mess. And there's an actor here, I can't even pronounce his name. Johannes Hakur Johannesson. He's an Icelandic actor. He was in Game of Thrones, of course, because why not? The Innocents and Atomic Blonde. He's not horrible, it's just he doesn't have anything to do. I don't remember him. The film is the one word, forgettable. You will forget about this movie. I forgot about this movie the day after I saw it. It's boring, it's uneventful, it's bloodless, it's edited to shit like a PG-13, and this has been done better before and after this. I guarantee you, Dune is going to be better than this. Black Widow, PG-13 or not, it's going to be better than this. The freaking R-rated cut of Snyder cut of Justice League will be better than this. I guarantee you. There's no way it's going to be as boring as this. And they're not going to cut away when they shoot somebody. Or even Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be better than this. I know Josh is going to attack me in the comments. Oh, how dare you? Yes, it's going to be better. You know why? Because I give a shit about the Falcon. I give a shit about the Winter Soldier. I care about the side characters that are coming back. I care that this time Zemo's going to have a mask. I care that the action is going to be better shot and it's not going to look like a cartoon. It's not going to steal ideas from something better. Bloodshot is just a failure, guys. Don't see it. If you've never seen it, skip it. You'll be doing yourself a favor. I watched it on cable. I didn't have to pay a cent. It's bad. It's a knockoff of RoboCop, the Terminator. There's literally guys with limbs that are straight out of Terminator or RoboCop. And I'm like, I've seen it done better, guys. Terminator 2 came out 30 years ago, and it still holds up. This movie will be forgotten by the time the sequel comes out. I have spoken. This is one of the worst movies of last year. It would have been like a dishonorable mention if I had seen this in theaters. I would have been more pissed off. I would have walked out an hour in because this movie is just a waste of time. But anyway, I suffered through it. If you did, tell me in the comment section. Some people didn't hate it. I get it. Vin Diesel's trying, but he doesn't have personality. He doesn't smile. He doesn't crack a joke. He doesn't talk about family, which that would have been a breath of fresh air compared to what we got here. Here's just soulless. And just because you're enhanced doesn't mean you have to be a robot. Just saying. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll probably do more of these rants. This is a good way to vent some much needed, all this frustration I've had in my body. So, fuck Bloodshot. It's one of the worst films of 2020, easily, without question. Not the worst. It's not even the worst comic book movie I've ever seen. But Valiant, you're not going to do the cinematic universe the way Marvel did. They planned every single movie and show that they've done from beginning to end. Even some ideas that didn't work, they still went forward. They didn't go backwards and do bullshit like Sony did, or Fox, or DC. Just saying, do better next time. See you guys.